Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video, and this is layout 1 with How to Kill a Kit with Style October. I am so excited to be using these goodies that Kelly sent me. She sent me a whole bunch of Felicity Jane stuff, and I couldn't wait to get started. I really did try to start off with the Jenny collection because the Jenny collection is something I haven't used before, but I had these photos up to scrap and they just really went so well with the Hannah collection. I couldn't help myself, so I'm starting my first page with the Hannah collection, and I'm just pulling in this beautiful blue on blue diamond pattern. I thought it complemented the peacocks really well, and I thought the green just stood out a lot better on this paper than maybe some of the brighter tones in the Jenny collection. So that's kind of why I decided to go this route. I was also really excited to pull in my scraps from the first time I had the collection. That little baggie you saw there is all I have left from the first time around, and I really wanted to try and see how much of that I can use up now that I have more of this collection. So I was really excited to get some of those pieces on this page as well. I'm starting off by trimming down this blue. I'm getting all the branding strips pretty much off of everything because I want branding strips available to use so I don't have a whole bunch left over at the end of the month. So I'm going through and doing that really quick. Love this wood grain. I really wanted to use this wood grain with this paper as well, but I believe I did that the last time I had this paper, and I'm trying to at least start out by doing something different. I did actually pull up the last layout I made with this background, and so I kind of have that in my mind, and so I'm trying to do something a little different than I did the first time around. And I have lots of other fun supplies I didn't have the first time I used this collection, so I'm hoping that'll help pull it in a different kind of way, especially because the first time I was only using the Hannah collection exclusively. Like I pulled in doilies and glassine bags and stuff like that. But Kelly included a whole bunch of other fun things that I'm not used to using with Felicity Jane that I'm really excited to pull in. So I have some really cool cork embellishments, lots of fun wood veneer things, a couple other little miscellaneous. I have some other collections to pull in, which is something I haven't really done before. I've always said how Felicity Jane collections go really well together, and I'm really excited this month to be able to show you that because she gave me so many little bits and pieces from multiple collections that I'm excited to use together. So you'll see that a little bit on this page as well. But I'm starting off by making this little photo collage. I have two 4x6s in different orientations, so that usually always gives me a little bit of trouble. But I also had this little 3x4 of a peacock I wanted to include as well. So I just decided to make this little collage here. I actually still don't have white cardstock, so I will go in and just use some white computer paper to do a skinny white mat on all these photos in a minute once I kind of get to that. Here you can see some of the other goodies she sent with me. I pulled out that willow washi immediately. I really thought that this coppery rose gold striped washi strip would be beautiful on this collection, especially because Hannah already does have some rose gold embellishments, so I was thinking maybe I could pull some of that in as well. I actually don't think I end up pulling in the rose gold from the Hannah collection, but I do pull in that foil, and I think it's so pretty from the Willow collection. I think it goes so well. So here is some vellum. Kelly also included some vellum in my kit share if you guys saw the kit share on the first. So I'm going to go ahead and use this punch that she sent me a while ago, and I love it. So I'm trying to incorporate that this month as well. But I'm doing a notebook edge across the whole top of this paper. I really wanted to use this whole sheet, I think it's 8.5 by 11 piece of vellum, as my back layer. I thought it would be really nice, soft, and pretty, and you could still see the background through it, but I thought that would be a really cool layer to have at the top, especially because I kind of do have a larger photo collage to work on. I kind of wanted a nice big base to build everything off of, but something that wasn't going to cover up the background and make it look super blocky. So I think the vellum is a really nice detail that way. You are going to see me gutting. She sent me a ton of goodies. You guys don't need to gut, but I can't help myself. It's Felicity Jane, and especially this Hannah collection. I'm going to try and save everything. So you're going to have to deal with that a little bit this month because I just can't help myself. So I just gutted a piece of that vellum that I knew was going to be covered. I'm trying to figure out if this is orientation I want the photos in. And once I'm kind of happy with that, you'll see me go in and mat them and glue those down. I'm waiting to gut the blue paper because I want to see how much is actually going to be covered by the time I get my photo collage down, so I can gut as much of this blue paper as possible. So I'm kind of waiting to gut that. But here you can see me with just that cheap white computer printer paper. It will do the job. I just needed a skinny white border around all of these layers. So I'm going to glue all of those down really quick. But I'm kind of thinking the more I go along this page, that's going to be a monochromatic blue kind of layout, which I thought would be really pretty. I love doing monochromatic layouts with Felicity Jane. Usually they do give you a couple tones within the same color family, so it's really easy to do. And I have a couple blue scraps from the first time I had this collection. I was hoping I could get used up if I did do that, so that's exciting, especially because there's a little blue ticket label that I didn't use the first time around that I wanted to get on a page. So that's kind of where my mind is. I also have the whole Felicity Jane, the Hannah die cut pack, so I'm trying to pull in a couple things from there as well. But I really did like how I had these photos laid out, so I'm going to go ahead and recreate that once they all have their mats and glue them all together. I wanted to go ahead and do this horizontal base just so there was a nice grounding area for all of this to sit on, and then I can kind of build up from there. But I always think it looks really nice having a horizontal piece on the bottom of your layers just to help have everything, like I know it's on a paper, I know it's a scrapbook layout, it doesn't really make sense that it needs like a shelf to sit on. But design wise, I just love the look of having that grounding area at the bottom of your layers for everything to kind of build on top of. I just think it looks so nice. So I'm creating that with that blue heart branding strip. I love that branding strip. It may have been the first one I used the first time I used this collection too. And then I wanted to border that on either side with this willow foiled washi. I thought I was going to be using both of the strips that came in that pack because you get two 6-inch strips, but I really wanted the torn detail, and so I'm tearing the washi in half, and because I did that I got 12 inches with one strip without having to use the other one, so that's kind of nice. I still have some washi to use on a different page. It probably will be with the Hannah collection as well. I kind of, after I did my unboxing, I kind of sifted everything into two groups. So I have my goodies based around the Hannah collection, and I have my goodies based off of the Jenny collection, and then she sent me a bunch of goodies that can kind of go with either. But I thought that way it'd be easier for me to scrap without having everything to work on it, and kind of just using, like, the willow washi went so well with the Hannah collection, and the Henley washi went really well with the Jenny collection. So that's kind of how I sorted things. So you'll see that throughout the month, me kind of working from two mini kits versus one huge kit, but you will see things pulled across both collections, things like the wood veneer and the ribbon and stuff like that, the 3x4 cards and the 6x6 papers that kind of can go with either. You'll see across both collections, but it's kind of how I decided to work from it, and I'm really liking it so far. As I'm voiceovering, I've made 2 pages. I've made one with the Hannah collection, one with the Jenny, so hopefully you'll see that one soon. But that's kind of how I decided to work from all the stuff she gave me. So yeah. But here is the Hannah die cuts. I'm trying to figure out what to do with that. I really wanted to use this beautiful girl. I love these girls that come in the collections, and I'm always worried I'm not going to use them because to me it seems like a more difficult die cut to use, and I really just don't want it to be left over and me not have used them because they're gorgeous. So first chance I get, I usually really do try and use these girl die cuts. I thought this would be a really nice page to do that, but since I did decide to go more on the monochromatic route, there is a blue bicycle that also is usually more of a difficult die cut for me to use, so I decided to use that on this page instead of Hannah. I think that looks so cute. I just think, you know, these kind of vacation pages are adventures, and for whatever reason, like, bicycles kind of signify that to me, even though we're not riding bicycles. So it's kind of how, in my mind, I think about why that goes. But here you can see me messing with all of these scraps I have left over from the first time I had this kit. I had a couple scraps of the solid blue, which is double-sided, so one side is blue, light blue, one side's dark blue. So you can see me trying to create a large looking layer, but with those 2 scraps on the light blue side behind that tag. I thought that would look really nice, kind of having that big blue chunk there. But I end up changing my mind once I kind of get things layered up. I found a different way to layer them that I think looks a little bit more fun. So I'm trying to create my little embellishment cluster. I thought it'd be really cool to pull in some of these smaller wood veneer as the are they called spokes on the wheels of the bicycle? I don't know if that's right. But my mind kept seeing the 2 wood veneer and needing a third one for a visual triangle. I couldn't just use 2. And then when I added 3, it just looked weird. So I'm going to leave the bicycle as is without wood veneer. But I definitely want to pull some wood veneer in on this page because I think that natural tone looks so beautiful with this collection. So you can see me trying to go ahead and pull in a couple of those things. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do, but there's a couple of these birds in birdcage wood veneer, and when I first saw them I was like, ooh, those are going to be challenging to use. They're so cute, but I'm not quite sure what page I'm going to put those on. And lo and behold, the first page I do has birds on it. So I was like, it's meant to be. We're getting a couple of these little bird cage wood veneer on here. And I think they are so cute. So I'm trying to, in the back of my mind, figure out how to do that with the bicycle, with the scraps I have. So for a moment, I just stopped messing with the wood veneer and the bicycles. I'm going to try and use up these scraps and figure out layering wise what I'm going to do. And then I can build with embellishment from there. So I have these 2 scraps I'm working from. I also have a pocket card I didn't use from the previous layout there. You just saw that with the heart that I had cut out for a previous page. And I decided what I was going to do was take my little notebook edge punch and I'm going to replicate that look that I have on the vellum already. I did this on a previous page and I really liked how the repetition of this punch on top of itself looked, so I figured I could recreate that with all these little scraps. I turned one of the scraps over to the dark blue side, and so I'm going to have this little layered look with the 2 different blues as well as this simple kind of grid paper, and I think it looks so nice with all of those punches lining up like that. So I'm just trying to figure out how to layer them because they are scraps. There are, you know, things cut out of them. They're awkward shapes, so I'm trying to figure out how to layer them without any of those gaps showing. But I think I've done it here. I really think that looks nice. It's a nice little background for me to layer on top of. So I'm going to go ahead and try and glue this down without moving it because I really liked how I had it laying. So I'm just going to glue that down really quick. And I also really do want to use that tag I pulled out. I'm definitely wanting to use that. So in my mind I'm thinking maybe I can layer these 3 little scraps and then I can have the tag and that'll kind of reach upward in the vertical space. And then I can build from there and that will kind of be my layers. And I think that's pretty much all I end up adding after I get these layers down until I can really embellish. And I had so much fun embellishing because she gave me so many fun things to work with. So you'll see that here in a minute. I'm going to glue this down. I think I still do need to gut the blue paper too. And I'm still putting it off because I'm still building all of these layers and I do want to make sure I can save as much of this background as possible. So I want to make sure I know how much I'm covering with other things in order to save. But now that I have that little background, I'm pulling in this blue label I had left over from the first time I had this collection, and I think that's a perfect little spot for one of these little bird houses. And then now that I have that one there looking into the photos to the right, I figured it'd be really nice to balance that by having another one on the lower right side of the page and that little gap looking into the photos to the left. So I really like how that's framing my cluster. I really love those little wood veneer and I couldn't help myself. I had to add a couple of the wood veneer hearts that she threw in there as well. So I think that's a nice little cluster. I have my 3 wood veneer things that makes my eye happy design wise. I love how this tag kind of reaches behind all of these vertical little scraps and pulls your eye upward, especially once I kind of add my twine or ribbon or whatever I end up doing. So that's what that cluster is starting to look like, and I really, really like that. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this little tab down. I'm going to end up using my Tombow Mono Multi for the bird house, so you can kind of see it sitting to the side there, because I do want that glue to dry a little bit, just so if I end up moving things, I'm not going to tear my beautiful embellishments in my paper. So while that's doing that, I'm gutting this piece here from the blue paper, so I have that for a future layout. I'm just going to back that in a scrap piece of this black, just so I still have a background to glue all of these layers on top of. It kind of helps with stability and stuff. It doesn't matter too much once they're in the page protectors, but if I have a scrap of paper, I do like to do that, especially when it's right behind the main portion of the layout. So I'm going to get all of that glued down, get this wood veneer on. She did also send me some really sweet white ribbon. It's actually what was tying the two black pens together that she sent me, which I love those pens. Kelly, you need to tell me what brand they are and where you got them, because it's a foreign language written on these things and I need more of them because I know these are going to be my new favorite pen. But anyway, she sent me two black pens, which are now my favorite pens, tied together with some white ribbon, and I figured, you know what, let's use the white ribbon on a layout too. She sent me some black and white plaid ribbon, which you will see on the next layout, but this white ribbon I had to use, so I put that through the tag. I think that looks really cute, and now I'm just getting all the wood veneer embellishments down. I also have a whole bunch of puffy shapes that she sent me from the Amanda collection, which I was really happy to see. You guys know I just used the Amanda collection, and I used a whole bunch of those puffies. So I'm happy to have more of them, especially because the colors go so well with the Hannah collection and the Jenny collection, as a matter of fact. So I'll probably be using them on both layouts. But I figured these little blue puffy hearts were so cute on this monochromatic blue layout. I got all my wood veneer down, and then she sent me these little cork arrows, and I thought those were so cool too. So I think I've used these once before, like a long time ago. I don't know where I got them from, but I miss having cork embellishments because they kind of do the same thing as wood veneer, but they have such a cool texture and they're like that richer brown tone. So I think they look really cool together. But yeah, with these outdoor photos and this being a monochromatic blue with little pops of the neutral browns, I thought the cork would be perfect as well. So I did just pop 3 of them in a visual triangle. I used the puffy white foam alpha she sent me for the title, which is Peafowl. And that's pretty much it. So this one was so much fun. Stay tuned for more Felicity Jane goodies. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.